Hi, I'm Sung Yoo. We're in California and welcome to my tiny house. No shoes in the house. This is my workspace and my all-purpose open space. This is where I work. This is where I will eat sometimes. This is my open closet, my kitchenette, and my bedroom. So sleeping in this bed is a bit like being on a boat. It's actually really warm and cozy. It is not claustrophobic. This is a full-size bed. And what's really amazing about the space and how it's energy efficient is that this little remote has 7 different settings, and you can control the lights to any ambiance that you want. And it's all LED, so it's also really energy efficient. So in my bedroom, this is where a lot of my clothing is. This is clothing that doesn't necessarily need to be ironed. I hang the rest of my clothing, but I have a very specific system here. My pants or jeans are rolled. I have basics in this section, and I have different dividers that actually keep them separated, and dividers within dividers at times. And for other items, like small things like socks, bathing suits, I keep them separated by pouches, so they're all in categories. So it's very, very time efficient. I know exactly where socks are. I know exactly where I need to grab my bathing suit. This is a pouch of some of my workout stuff. This is a jump rope, which I travel with when I can't work out. And then I have, these are hand wraps for boxing or Muay Thai. So those just stay right there. After you wash them, you keep them right there. I keep my gym clothing also in one stack, meaning sports bra, pants, tops, so that usually I work out very early in the morning, so I can just grab a stack and just go. I don't need to think about it. And also rolling your clothing keeps it a lot less wrinkly. One of the things that I added and also use the most often is my Bluetooth speaker. Sound is so important, especially for the different types of energy that I want to have depending on the day or the time. So this is my Bluetooth speaker, which is portable, that just hangs right there. Because of this large glass door, there's a lot of natural light that comes into the space, which is really calming, but also really great for waking up naturally. So this is actually the spot I'll also sit in, not only to let the natural light in and let your body sort of adjust to waking up, but when I want to do a sitting down meditation, this is the spot I'll sit. And then in my kitchen, I keep the counter with nothing on it but a kettle. It's a fellow kettle and just some cleaning materials and the candles that I really love to have on during the day because it really sets a mood, and scent is very critical in creating a different sensation in the space that you're in. So quality candles is something that's also very important. And then in my kitchenette, we have a mini fridge. There's also a drawer for all kitchen tools. Minimizing it to be only the tools that you need has been really helpful. Quality over quantity at all times. And this is where I sit and spend the majority of my day working on calls, and I often use my laptop, and the materials I need are usually swatches and looking at tech packs and so forth. So with that said, what's really great about being in this space is that the natural sunlight really helps with color accuracy. I can match Pantone colors in here perfectly, so that's also really great. My wardrobe. Thinking about versatility and functionality is an extremely important aspect of how I've curated my closet, because I've narrowed down so much of what I've owned. A lot more thoughtfulness is necessary in how you narrow it down so that it still fits your lifestyle and so that you have everything that you need. The clothing that's hanging, I've categorized it by color, but also by purpose. So one of the first things that I purchased when I moved into the tiny house, knowing that my clothing had to be exposed, I wanted the hanging rack that was going to be here to be minimal, functional, but like perfect for the space. So measuring how much space I had was the first thing I did. And then I did a lot of research. So I wanted a simple matte black hanging rack. I even got matte black hangers, both from Amazon. And this is also expandable on both sides, which is great so that if I am ironing something or if I want to just place something and look at it before making a decision, I can do that. And then afterwards, I just put it right back. So measuring your space is extremely important. And the way that I've solved for my hats is the ones that can get wrinkly, like my athletic hats, caps are on the bottom, and then the ones that cannot, I've just placed on top and I've stacked them that way. I didn't want to add hooks to the walls because I don't want to damage how minimal it is. So I just wanted to leave that exactly like that. So the clothing that I've hung here, if you can see, there's more basics and then more sort of unique pieces. Like mixing and matching the different styles is what will give you variety and versatility. Layering is also another big aspect of how I curate my wardrobe, and we'll get into that later. And this is my bathroom. So if you've ever stayed at a pod hotel or perhaps just a smaller boutique hotel, you've got everything you need and everything functions exactly as it should, but it's just in a more compact space. I love that it's left open so that you're not taking up space with a door. And even the shower, we have a hand shower, we also have a regular shower. That's really convenient. This comes in very handy. I keep everything in my bathroom very organized and never have excess. When I can, I try to buy things that are refillable so that I'm not constantly throwing out packaging. As much as I have a love for packaging, minimizing it is the best way to stay very minimal. In terms of feng shui, as well as just functionality in a small space, I always keep the toilet seat down. In feng shui, it's known that if you are to keep it open, that the good qi or ki is getting flushed down the toilet, and we don't want that, and we want to preserve. So I always keep the toilet seat down. So a lot of how I organize is based on accessibility, especially in a small space. You don't want to be constantly looking for something. So if I need it more frequently, it's more accessible and it's easier to access. The secondary items that I use, I have in a small basket, which I also spent a lot of time researching and making sure that the measurements were correct. I also then took the time to add little feet to the bottom so that it doesn't scratch the vanity. And then I have reusable hand towels here, which I really enjoy because it adds a bit of a luxury to the moment and also just more sustainable. So I use reusable hand towels that are folded there. This soft basket is actually just a set from IKEA. And then kind of my smaller items are mascaras and makeup and things. And it's really great because it's malleable. You can, in some spaces, I think it's easier to have something that's malleable, that's gonna be a little bit flexible as you use it, as opposed to something more rigid. And then in this basket below, it looks like a hodgepodge because it is. The categories of the products I have are all in different pouches. When I travel or go to the gym, I have my set that's always ready to go. I don't need to think about it. I don't need to rummage through anything. I have products that are not being used yet, but perhaps like refills or things in another pouch. I have nail things in a Tyvek pouch so that if anything leaks, that it doesn't get everywhere. And this was also a GWP gift with purchase. Hair tools, I've narrowed it down to exactly what I need. I only have one hair dryer and one curling iron. That's all I use. Most of the time, I actually let my hair air dry, so don't even use a hair dryer. I think one important thing in how I live in this space is having the objects or the tools that you need in the area that you actually need it is really important. For instance, cleaning materials, actually it's like hidden behind the toilet, but I don't need much more. We have our cleaning brush and we have our cleaning tool. That's all you need. And even with cleaning products, I love cleaning. I keep it very minimal. I only have the different types of cleaning products that you really need, which a lot of times can be probably 2 products. That's one way to keep it minimal. Here I have my bowls. This is from Magnolia Home. I love these bowls. These are not only like flatter and wider, so it kind of is multi-purpose. I can use it kind of as a bowl, but also as a plate. So these are the only two I really need. So that's what I have. I added some shelves in the back here so that I could elevate some products so that I could see it and also maximize the space. The items that I use most often are also on the front, but I've also organized it by height, the best I can, so that you can see the taller items are in the back and shorter items are in the front. The items or spices that I don't use often are tucked underneath and behind the shelf. In my pantry, we have our fresh ingredients right in this area. This is just what strawberries come in. Actually, I think I bought figs in this. And I was like, this is perfect. I love this biodegradable container. So my ingredients live in that. I know exactly what I have and I know exactly what I need. These are really amazing Japanese mung noodles, which I often have. And also, in terms of my vitamins, they all come in, and supplements, they're all in one little area. And then this is my tech department, all in this pouch. All my cords, all my tech, all the things that I might possibly need that are for charging. I keep it also in one place. Anything that's unidentifiable was tossed a long time ago. If you're not sure when or where it goes, you don't need it. So, speaking of supplements, this is my supplement container. This is really modular. So you have larger containers and you have smaller ones, so you can separate your supplements or vitamins or whatever you need, and then it all goes together in one. And it came with some extras, so I switch it out depending on where I'm going, what I need. So in terms of value, there's certain areas that I think quality is extremely important to look at and it's the priority. And then there's some areas that the value is in that the object costs less, but is going to be used less frequently. For me, my matcha routine is very, very important. I like to have good tools and I like to take very good care of them. These are shorter glasses, which I also use for water, but really great for sifting and also stirring my matcha. And then after that, this glass, which is also, it's handmade. They're very, very thin, which also gives it a very, very elegant experience. And I really love that. So you also have to be very careful with these glasses, but I love the experience of it. So that's why I have these glasses, and I've had these glasses for years. So I do cook really often. I never buy a very large bottle of something or a large amount of a certain spice that I'm not going to use often. It's better to consider using it all and then replacing it. But something like olive oil, for instance, I use very frequently, so I have a large bottle. Ta-da! These are my pans. I have two. I use this one to boil. And then this is the one I use majority of the time, which is a little bit larger and flat for grilling outside. And that's really all you need. And I keep my meals quite elaborate, actually. Just because I have a smaller space hasn't deterred me from cooking the way that I cook in a full kitchen. In this area, I also keep items that I would need a larger space for. This is brown rice, for instance. It always comes in a larger bag. So I keep it here. I also cook rice on a stove. I have some ingredients. This is coconut sugar, which is a sweetener that I use. And then just some extras that are usually in bags that I keep right there. And this is my library. And the books are being held right now by a very thin bookend. This is it. That's it. It just holds the books. I'll put it back. And yeah, this is where I come to ponder what we will read next. So with food containers, I keep all the lids on them because I think that's a really important aspect of keeping it organized and also not having to rummage through, and you know how things will like start falling over and topple over. We want neat, organized, serene energy in our container shelf or cabinet. So everyone has a lid. I also have some containers that fit into another, so I'll stack them that way, but most of the time it's just really useful to be able to see exactly what you have because I don't want to be searching for them. So that's why they are in the front. And then up here, water bottles. I know it's really common to start collecting a lot of water bottles, but for me, having maybe 2 maximum water bottles that work really well is extremely important. This one I've had for many, many years, and it it preserves the temperature so well. It's a Japanese water bottle, hot or cold, and it's really easy to clean because you can take all the pieces apart. So yeah, I can show you how to clean that later. This is the one that I treasure and take good care of because it functions really, really well. So we have a couple things here. The ones that are in the back are things that I'm not accessing all the time. So I have a couple brown rice pastas in the back, which I don't have every day. And also a couple ingredients that are coming in bags, like this vegan pancake mix and things like that, that I don't need to use every day. So that's why those are in the back. But also when I do need those things, I really take the time to consciously take the things that I don't need down first, and then I will access what I need. So patience and thoughtfulness is key. So because I do design, I do have times where I need to look at things all together. In that case, for samples, I will look at them in the natural light, like this. These are my swatches. Swatches of any sort are really good to look at in natural light. So this is where and how I will look at them often. And yeah. So these are samples that I will keep organized and keep it all in one place, all out of the same organic cotton material. Very soft, very breathable, very light. And these are my boxing gloves, which often live in my car trunk. I used to train Muay Thai, and then now I've been training some boxing, so simple and easy. And these go with the hand wraps that were in my drawer. So I keep my shoes down here, and I will put them on outside. I don't wear shoes indoors. But in terms of silhouettes, I like to keep a variety, but also the key for me is comfort, especially in shoes. I think that it's much more luxurious and effortless to be comfortable than to be wearing anything where you don't feel comfortable or you're constantly needing to adjust.